Hello, hello, good people. I'm here, and we're at that part of the cycle, year, period where people are coming up. What's your solutions? What's your solutions? What's your solutions? And we keep saying for years I've been hearing that. Now, I know when you break down and criticize our social dynamic, it's always been my thing to get. I know I have to give solutions because what people are going to do is say, what's your solutions? Those people usually just don't want to solve anything, knowing damn well you can't give them 10-minute solutions, to global warming and all this other stuff. So I would started thinking about things. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about doing a policy paper, ongoing, to solve some of these problems, and send it out to politicians. And well, maybe not send it out to politicians, maybe send it out to organizations. I don't know, because I don't think politicians care. But let's do a policy paper, and it's in my mind. I got to figure out how to do it. If I'm going to do it as a post, like I'm now doing my Holler the News, got to watch for that. Also, I have to say, I work through these things and I try to give solutions. So now when I give solutions, people look and say, oh no, I don't think that's realistic or whatever. And then I say, why not? And the great thing is, after 2020, you can't say why not. You can't say a universal basic income is not real, because I can say 2020. I can cite the numbers. You can't say rent as a housing right is not realistic 2020. I can cite the numbers. We had a rent moratorium. So it's plus when it comes to rent and stuff, I know I understand housing. And housing is a big deal because where you live creates the stability. But what I'm going to do with this video is give a vision of what the kind of world I want and think will be a kind, not the kind, I should say it that way. Because there could be multiple visions that are sane. Because right now we're living in deep in insanity. Very deep. And the only way out of it is for it to all fall apart for everybody or almost everybody. People don't seem to want to come out of this insanity. They're comfortable. They're loving it. They're the Romans in the Colosseum as the empire's dismantling, cheering and cheering and cheering on the gladiators. That's what we are. That's where we are. So I'll give you the vision. First, food and food distribution. We all have to eat. And we need to understand that supermarkets, pantries, delivery services, they're all places that distribute food. Whether you get food free or you have to pay, we must start thinking of things as they are. So let's say that. First, as societies, we see things as they are. These places are food distribution centers. Cars are machines that get you from point A to point B. Homes are things that you live in to protect you from the elements. That's it. Some things are nicer than others. Some things might even run better than others. But we need to see them as this is fundamentally what these things are. We see things as they are. Food distribution, we can do it multiple ways, which is what we do now. Actually, there are a lot of food pantries. I live in Jamaica, Queens. I've run into by mistake two, and I know there's ones 2 days a week at the Salvation Army. The other day I was walking, just happened to be walking to the train station a different route because I to drop something off at the library. No, I'm sorry, the post office, and then go to the train station a different way. And it was early in the morning. Bam, ran into a pantry. So, food distribution. Okay, so And we need to distribute it in a way everybody has a chance to eat. And today in New York City, I can say there are a lot of pantries throughout the city. So you will have a chance to have something to eat. It might not be the best, something. Now, one of the problems is they give you stuff you have to cook, which means you need a home. Housing is, everyone has at least decent housing. If you want luxury housing or above, that's fine. You leave some to the market. But there has to be enough stock. So you have to take what's already in existence and make sure that the number of units is matching up with the economic reality of your population. So you could either pay people more to afford the market, or you could take things off the market to fit where people are getting paid. If 50 to 60% of your people are below the poverty line, then that's what the housing needs to be. Okay, so housing is fixed. You could do this through voucher program, you could do this through UBI, you could do this through any way you want to do it, or you could do it through creating public housing. There's 3 ways right there to do it. That's what my society looks like. So far, it's not a utopia. We're just going through. So we got food, you got shelter. Now the biggest part, work. We all work. So let's get this out of our mind. Work, again, we need to see things as they are. Work is exerting energy. That's all work is. We all exert energy. I've been homeless. No one works more than a homeless person. The moving around, the cops moving you around, the walking around so you're not vulnerable, the trying to find a spot where you can get something to eat. Some homeless people are canning so they can have a little few dollars in their pocket. If you have to go to social services, that's work. All of this stuff is work. Trying to get a decent housing voucher is work. It's work, 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 work. Then on top of that, they have quote unquote jobs, which is a different thing. You see? And in my society, everyone will be working to solve a problem in the society or master a skill in the society. And sometimes you're doing both. Most of the times, sometimes you're doing both. So if a child wants to play a horn, they have space to play their horn. And if you want to make sure that you pay people to play, have spots where they could play to get paid, fine. If you want to subsidize them, fine. But in my society, everybody has it. Everybody. If you draw, if you're an artist, whatever you are, you have the space to do it. If you like biology, you have the space to do it. If you and the training and all of that is open for you to master and get better at your skill. So all of these walls that we put up, exams to get into programs, to get into spaces, to get the training, all of that stuff. And then we make sure certain people can't pass the exams because they don't have nowhere to live, they have nothing to eat, and all this other stuff. My society, everybody would have those things. Everybody would be open to the training. You might flunk out of the training, but you'll at least have access to the training to get yourself better. But we know some of us have abilities. And if you're honest, when you were young, you had a certain ability and your parents and family either didn't support it or couldn't support it. And I say didn't because if you skip one of those birthday parties, and I know you're doing that to try to make us feel like something because the rest of the year we feel like nothing a lot of times, especially in my community. But if you skip one of those and get that chemistry set, if you skip one of those and get that instrument, if you skip one of those and get that biology set, if you skip one of those and get these things, that nice telescope, because your children are into the stars and alignments and things like that, take them to the planetarium, make sure they have these things. And in our society, it wouldn't cost $30, $40 to get into a museum. Okay? Certain of these things you'd have access. All right? So we got work, right? And all these jobs that just paid, that don't do anything, gone. And if you think we can't do it, 2020. only essential workers in the society, you know what? It didn't fall apart. And what we found out is the environment was better. Air, water, and land all the planet began to clean itself up because we weren't putting all this pollution into the air. So we got a taste of what it could be like to actually be sane and humane. And a large portion of our society just said no, they want to go back to insanity because we're deep in insanity and we need to come out of it. We need to come out of it. We're going to come out of it one way or the other because the planet is going to exert reality and natural sanity. And we could either be flooded, burned down, and reduced in population that way because of illness and sicknesses and all of that, or we can evolve out of this nonsense that we're doing and have a kind of sane society. So I gave you housing, I gave you food, I gave you work, how we work, how we deal with each other in our relationships. We're all ethnically different, but we're all human beings. And the motivation for human beings should be expanding out of our humanity, evolving into the next thing. And we have to be around to do that, which means we have to treat the planet like something so we can breathe and eat and have clean water to drink. We have to study it and think about our experiences. We have to study and think about the planet, the environment. We have to study and think about the cosmos. We've got satellites out there. We've got rovers out there sending us back information, bringing back materials, bringing back all kinds of stuff. So, be thoughtful. Think about expanding out of the humanity that we're in now into something new, something more evolving. See each other as human beings. We're human beings who are healthy. We're human beings who are unhealthy. We're human beings who are addicted. We're human beings who are not addicted. We're human beings who are, I should say, health conscious, eat well, don't put pollutions into their body. We're human beings who struggle to learn, and we're human beings who learn quickly. We're human beings first. We're human beings with shelter, but in my society, that wouldn't be a problem. But you'd see people as human beings first. We're human beings that can walk. We're human beings that can't walk. We're human beings with 2 arms. We're human beings with 1 arm or no arms. You see what I'm saying? Human first, or beings first, and then your condition. Because that's, again, goes back to seeing things as they are. And if we did this, we would be a lot better off. That's a vision for a society that I want to see. I was going to put this behind a paywall, but I'm going to let this be free because I think it's important. And even if you want to rip it apart or criticize it or dismantle it, fine. But I'm going to make this free. So, see, you hear life in New York City. I want you to take care of yourself. Be safe. And if you want to support me as usual, hit one of the links down there. I have plenty of links. I'm doing a lot of work. I'm putting up a lot of work. Because again, when I have stability, I try to do as much work as I possibly can because I know it's not guaranteed. So I'm guaranteed stability right now until May of next year. After that, I don't know. That's it. So take advantage of it. I hope you enjoyed this. Give more suggestions. That's what I would like to see. What kind of society would you like to see? What would you like to see? Because the criticism, it's so boring now. It's like criticizing, arguing, debating has become entertainment, and it's cheap entertainment. So add to what I said, right? Or replace what I said. Give your version of a sane society. And until then, take care, be safe, be safe, be safe.